Hello guys, this is Quetzalcoatl, and today I'm going to show you two battles that were fought between Bobby of the Arctic clan and Wolf of Ichkeria of the Via Militera clan in the quarterfinals of the Cup of Nations 2018. These two players fought 4 battles in total, but as they are too long for one video, I will show you first the first two of those battles, and in another video I will show you the last 2 battles. In the Cup of Nations, you get assigned one faction and you have to play all the tournament with that faction. In this case, Bobby is playing as Cimmeria and Wolf of Ichkeria as Carthage. So let's go to show you the deployment of Bobby. He has at each flank 4 armored horse archers, one of them being his general, the noble horse archer. At the back he has 4 units of citizen cavalry and 1 unit of steppe lancers. Also he has a hidden unit of slingers, which will, I think, be useful late in the game. At the front he has 4 units of Scythian hoplites, and at the flank he has 2 units of Cimmerian noble infantry. Also at the back of the Cimmerian noble infantry he has 1 unit of steppe archers and 1 unit of steppe archers on the other side. I think that his original intention was to place this unit behind the Cimmerian noble infantry, but he made a not so symmetrical deployment, as you can see by the position of the units. And also behind the Scythian hoplites he has a unit of pickled peltas on each back of each group of Scythian hoplites. That's Bobby's deployment, and I think he will try to skirmish at the flank of the Carthaginian army. Wolf of Ichkeria has brought 2 units of Carthaginian cavalry at each flank, and he has also 3 units of mercenary Scutari cavalry, and his general is an African war elephant. He has a mixed group of melee infantry with 1 Libyan infantry and 3 mercenary Scutari, 1 at this flank and 2 at the other flank, and 1 Italian swordsman almost at the center. 2 Italian swordsmen at the center. These 2 units are weaker than the others, so placing them in the center brings protection to these units. Also, at the front of the Carthaginian cavalry, he has 2 units of Libyan peltasts, which can screen the incoming fire of the noble horse archers. And at the front, he has 4 units of late Libyan hoplites that will also screen the hoplites and possible charges from the Cimmerian cavalry. So let's play repetition, and we will also have the point of view of the commanding orders of Bobby, because he sent the replays to me. At this battle we will see that Ichkeria will try to flank from his left side, and will left the left side of the Cimmerian army useless or idle until late game. At late game we will see that something paradoxical will happen, because we will think that Carthage will win the battle, but the final result is totally another. So at this point the armies are only closing, and Bobby is moving his armored horse archers to the flank. Maybe he will try to skirmish, but he has to deal first with these Libyan peltas that surely Ichkeria will put in front of the armored horse archers, so these peltas will draw the fire, and with his high armor will take some damage, but not too much, and will drain the ammunition of these horse archers. So now he's running, and Bobby is somewhat undecided on this flank. Maybe he needs an infantry unit to screen these Libyan peltasts, but as he has not that unit, he cannot make too much on this flank. Also, he's moving on the left flank, his citizen cavalry, and he's acting defensive with his noble horse archers and his armored horse archers that were originally placed on his left flank. Now Ichkeria has decided to move again, and I think at this point he has decided his plan of attack. He will attack, as I told you, from the left flank, from his left flank, and he's already starting the engagement. He's sending his Carthaginian cavalry to hit the Cimmeria noble infantry, and then his late Libyan hoplites, and then his mercenary scutari cavalry to kill this Cimmerian noble infantry. Bobby is also trying to kill the Carthaginian cavalry, but he has also to face these Libyan peltasts. He's also moving his left flank, but he is far away from the Carthaginian army on the right flank. Engagement is going on this left flank, and Bobby is now pulling out his citizen cavalry, and Ichkeria is pursuing with his Carthaginian cavalry, and the Cimmerian noble infantry has lost some men, but not a lot, and he's being reinforced by the Scythian hoplites. But this is a problem, that Ichkeria is moving his elephants and his whole army to this flank. So he will unbalance the Cimmerian right flank, and sooner or later he will destroy this side of the Cimmerian army. He's also using his peltas to kill the citizen cavalry and the Scythian hoplites. And now we can see that the elephants are going to make a rear charge, but Bobby has moved his picket peltas and has put on quick reload. But Ichkeria is defending well with his Carthaginian cavalry, his elephants, and will stop these picket peltas from fire. Bobby has also started the fight on this flank, but his citizen cavalry was stopped by the Carthaginian cavalry, and it will lose sooner or later. But he has also his step archers shooting on the citizen cavalry. So at this moment, the Scythian hoplites and the Cimmerian noble infantry is gone, and engagement is going now to the center, and Ichkeria is keeping his main line of infantry at the back. He's pushing with his Libyan infantry, and he will also push with his mercenary scutari. He's also pushing with his mercenary scutari cavalry at his left flank, while Bobby is trying to stop with his noble horse archers. He shouldn't be doing that with horse archers, since they are skirmisher cavalry. They are noble, yes, but they will not do well versus mercenary scutari cavalry, which is a melee cavalry. But now he's reinforcing with citizen cavalry. The elephants are trying to get in the melee fight. He will kill this picket peltas unit, which is now depleted, 47 men and counting down, and he is now moving his mercenary Italian swordmen just to keep sight of the battle, while the Libyan infantry is doing short work of the Scythian hoplites. But as you can see, the elephants have already taken some damage and are out of control, and Bobby is charging with his citizen cavalry, the Libyan peltas, that so far have played as a screen force on the left side of the Carthaginian army. So as you can see, now the right side of the Cimmerian army has almost vanished, and also at the center there is no more Cimmerian army. We can see that the Carthaginian army has taken control of the center of the battlefield, on the left side of the battlefield, and Bobby's trying to rescue this unit of Scythian hoplites, and he has also scattered his army. We have here the armored horse archers, the steppe lancers at the center with another armored horse archers, his general, which is charging some late Libyan hoplites, which I think is not a good idea. It will wear down the general, who is already at 30 men and counting down because he had received the javelin fire from the mercenary Scutari. So I think that Bobby has not acted wisely with his noble horse archer general so far. But he has these 3 units of hoplites and step archers, and he has also this unit of armored horse archers and this unit of Cimmeria noble infantry. So you can see that now, let's pause a little bit, has happened what a Cimmerian player always desires, that is to encircle the enemy army. Carthage is at the center, and Carthage has, I think, no more cavalry. Well, it has the mercenary Scutari cavalry, which is at 39 men, and all the rest is infantry. So, and not so good infantry, because the mercenary Italian swordmen are weaker, are a weak infantry unit. He has 2 of these units, which are at 120 men, is a full unit. And he has also his Libyan peltasts, the Libyan infantry, which is at 81 men and already tired. This mercenary Scutari, who is at 32 men, about to die. And this another mercenary Scutari who is full strength and active only. He has also this another mercenary Scutari at full strength. So from this point of view of the units, of the melee units that Carthage has, it looks well, the battle for Carthage, but it does not look well since Carthage is already encircled and it has no cavalry to counterattack the armored horse archers that are still on the field and that are not so depleted. 58 men to these armored horse archers. These armored horse archers has 36 men. So let's see what happens next. The battle has made a big change from Carthage destroying the right flank of the Cimmerian infantry and also the center, and now Carthage has been encircled. We can say accidentally, but the Cimmerian player, because it was not his intended plan. It's just the result of the melee fight. So it comes down to some skirmishing by the Cimmerian player now.
Riders, forward! Forward!
He might lose his step archers here, but he can protect with his Scythian hoplites. And at this point he should really be firing at the Carthaginian army. He is with his armored horse archers trying to kill the Libyan infantry, and he's trying to kite the Carthaginian group, and this gap trying to take the step archers will rout because it has few men, and the step archers are almost full. These late Libyan hoplites are engaging the Scythian hoplites, the 2 units with a lot of men still, but as you can see the morale has dropped very fast for the late Libyan hoplites and also for the mercenary Scutari, although they have 190 men, almost a full unit. The morale now is in red, so this is a big problem for the Carthage player, because these units are not quality units. Nevertheless, they have a lot of men, so it will take a little bit more to rout them from the battlefield, and that's what Bob is trying to do with his armored horse archer, which is an elite unit, but it is almost depleted also this armored horse archer unit, so it will not suffice for it to rout the mercenary Scutari. And he's shooting with the picket ballistas at the mercenary Scutari. And Carthage is trying to regroup at this side of the battle. This Hittian hoplites will sooner or later die to the melee fight. And he's trying to screen Carthage, these units of armored horse archers, and now he's trying to move forward to the melee fight. He will also chair the Scythian hoplites. So this looks well for the Carthage player, but he still lacks in cavalry, and he will also have to deal with this Cimmeria noble infantry, which is also a full unit. So at this point we have another melee fight with the Scythian hoplites holding the remains of the Carthage army, and this kind of holding for the Cimmerian hoplites should be accompanied by the skirmish fire, but he has no skirmishers left. Well, he has these picket ballistas, but are far away from this main melee fight. He has also his noble horse archer, but is almost depleted. And he has these step archers, which could be shooting at this group of units, but instead he decided to move far away from that melee fight. So one unit of Scythian hoplites has already routed, and this unit is still on the battlefield, but it will rout. The men are dropping fast, and Bobby is now running away with his picket peltats from these mercenary Italian swordsmen, which are also very tired by now because the Carthaginian army has run all the battlefield to the left, and then he made a whole turning onto the very center of the battlefield. Now Bobby will try to use his general to kill the Libyan Beltest, which I think is not a good idea because his general is at 8 men about to rout, and he's important for the rest of his army to sustain morale, because these armored horse archers receive a penalty when the general is dead. Also the Scythian hoplites and the step archers and the picket peltast. The only unit that doesn't get that penalty is the Cimmerian noble infantry. He's charging again, and I think he will lose his general here. And you cannot tell really who is going to win at this point of the battle, because we see a lot of units of the Carthaginian army, and the Cimmerian general is about to die. But the Cimmerian infantry has a little bit of skirmish power with these step archers and the picket peltasts, which can also act as a melee unit because they have good attack statistics, also weapon damage and good armor. So now the Carthaginian army is regrouping at the center. As you can see, the units are exhausted. Almost all of the units are exhausted in green, in yellow, morale, with the exception of this unit that is only very tired. And the mercenary Scutari are about to rout because they have few men, not so much kills. And these armor horse archers still have arrows, and I think these step archers still have arrows too. Yes, they have their bow. And I think Bobby should be shooting. There he goes. He's shooting first the mercenary Scutari, then moving to the mercenary Italian swordmen. Also the picket peltists, I think they have no more javelins, and he will attack the wavering mercenary Scutari. And he shoot back with his armor horse archers. Ichkeria is taking out his mercenary Scutari, and he's also facing the incoming charge of the armored horse archers. And see, those two units routed, not so depleted as to rout like that, and they also receiving fire and some firing arrows that make morale damage, which I don't think that's a nice movement. More fiction than anything, those firing arrows. And well, at this point the battle is decided in favor of Cimmeria, because this Cimmeria noble infantry can kill this mercenary Italian swordman, although the mercenary Italian swordman unit is at full strength, and it also has two experienced chevrons. The last armored horse archers unit has routed, and Bob is pulling away while attacking with his Cimmeria noble infantry, and he's running away also with his steppe archers. And this unit of mercenary Scutari is pursuing the steppe archers. So will we see a sandwich? And I think that this will decide the final result of the battle, which was a very unstable battle, so to say, because you could think that the Carthaginian, he's like pulling a little bit. You would think that the Carthaginian army had the upper hand at the beginning when it moved to the flank and destroyed the flank of the Cimmerian infantry and also the center. But then it got enveloped, and the Carthaginian army could do the best that it can do, which is skirmishing the enemy army. So let's see the results. As you can see, the mercenary Italian swordmen didn't get much kills. The Libyan infantry got 100, which is a good amount of kills, and also the mercenary Scutari got a good amount of kills. At least these two units, but this unit did average. Also the Carthaginian cavalry got very few kills. In reality, the Carthaginian cavalry got a bad action, a bad battle, and the African war elephant got routed very early in the game. As for Cimmeria, we can see that his noble infantry did well, his Hitian hoplites not so well. Indeed, we could say bad, with the exception of these Hitian hoplites. And his armored horse archers, this unit, which I think it was the unit that was until the end, but these other units did bad. The general got 81 kills, which is, we can say, average, but not what you desire as a Cimmerian player. And these picket peltists are the MVP of the Cimmerian infantry with 250 kills. These units can be really destructive when you use them well. So this was the first battle, and we will now see how Wolf of Ichkeria will adjust to what he has experienced in this battle, which I think is mainly the lack of more cavalry and the lack of good infantry. So you can see now he has brought 4 Libyan infantry and 1 Italian and 1 mercenary Scutari. So he has a much more stronger infantry regiment, and he has also 3 skirmish cavalry. So let's go to the deployment. Bob is deployed Also, this almost the same as the first battle. At each flank, he has a skirmisher unit as step archers and slingers, at, which are protected by Scythian hoplites and Scythian hoplites and Scythian hoplites. In total, he has, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of Scythian hoplites and 2 units of Cimmeria noble infantry. So it's similar to what we have already seen. He has also his noble horse archers, another armored horse archers, 4 units of armored horse archers, counting his general, 1 citizen, 2 citizen, 3 citizen cavalry, so 1 less unit of citizen cavalry, and 2 units of steppe lancers. So he has 1 more unit of steppe lancers. So, and the 2 units of picket peltas. In some way, the army is less powerful in cavalry regiment, but I think he has brought 1 more unit of Scythian hoplites, so he has reinforced the infantry regiment. And as I already said, Wolf of Ichkeria has brought more cavalry. He has brought 3 mercenary Numidian cavalry, which is a nice surprise to see him use this mercenary Numidian cavalry, which are not a common unit on the Carthaginian army. He has his 4 Libyan infantry and his 2 units of infantry, which are not that good as the Libyan infantry, one being the mercenary Italian, and in this space I think it is hidden the unit of mercenary Scutari. And he has also at the front 4 units of late Libyan hoplites as the first battle that will work as a screen factor for the Carthaginian army. So let's go fast. And now we see that Ichkeria is moving his mercenary Numidian cavalry to the left flank, and he will try to flank the Cimmerian army, which I really think that the Cimmerian army should be doing that is flanking. But at the first battle, the Cimmerian army was not flanking, and at this second battle, the Cimmerian army is not flanking again. So I don't know why, but it seems that Bobby is underplaying the strength of the Cimmerian army, while Ichkeria is enveloping his army and magnifying the melee power of his units, which are also more sturdy now with his 4 units of Libyan infantry. And he also has this noble cavalry as general, which I forgot to mention, that will trouble more the armored horse archers and in general the skirmishers of the Cimmerian infantry. So Ichkeria is flanking the right side of the Cimmerian army, and Bob is acting defensively, and he's also trying to push from the right flank, and he will make contact at the left flank with these 2 units of Carthaginian cavalry and late Libyan hoplites. The Scythian hoplites are facing the late Libyan hoplites, and well, that's not a bad engagement for them. But if the late Libyan hoplites get reinforced by this Libyan infantry, these Scythian hoplites will die. Also, Ichkeria is penetrating the Cimmerian infantry from this open spot, because as you remember, Bobby placed his units separated, so these open spots are made as the battle goes on, and he's also double charging this citizen cavalry, which will die, and he's harassing with his Numidian cavalry the back of the Cimmerian army. Well, and I think this was a micro mistake by the Cimmerian player because he pushed the late Libyan Hoplites, but now well, he's really attacking the late Libyan Hoplites, not trying to retreat and unmend the error. And as I told you, it was not a bad engagement for the late Libyan Hoplites, but now the Libyan infantry is engaging the Scythian Hoplites, which is in its favor. And also the mercenary Italian swordmen are facing these units of steppe lancers. And some action is going on this side. Bobby got Idol, the noble cavalry, but it will not die to this citizen cavalry. And I think these units of Scythian Hoplites is too far away to help in this battle. And Ichkeria is doing a great job of harassing the back of the Cimmerian army. So these slingers are always in trouble, and also the armored horse archers will suffer with the 41 missile damage from the mercenary Numidian cavalry. And at least Bobby's moving his noble horse archers to try to do something at this side. And this late Libyan Hoplites is facing two units of Scythian Hoplites, so it's not doing well because it's not superior in numbers. But now this Libyan infantry is going to reinforce, and these Scythian Hoplites will die. Also, this flank of the Cimmerian infantry is gone, so we see something similar to the last battle, where the Carthaginian army broke through the left flank. But this time the Carthaginian army has much more cavalry, so it has more possibilities of having a better ending this time. And this general also is a strong addition to the army. And what has happened with the left flank of the Cimmerian infantry is that it has moved and turned from this part of the battlefield, and now is going to engage the center of the Carthaginian army, which was won by the Carthaginian army, and the left side will be also won by the Carthaginian army. And Cimmeria has at this point only this Cimmerian noble infantry, which has taken a lot of damage now, 79 men. And it's not enough to face what remains of the melee infantry of the Carthaginian army, which is a lot. 109 this Libyan infantry, 90 this Libyan infantry, which was the one facing two Scythian Hoplites, 118 this mercenary Scutari, this Italian swordman 107, and Carthage has a lot of cavalry, and the generals were facing each other, and the noble horse archers are taking the worst part of the engagement because he's fighting superior forces on this part of the battlefield. The picket beltas are trying to help the Cimmerian noble infantry in the melee fight, and they will do well against these Italian swordmen and these mercenary Scutari. But when these Libyan Hoplites get into the fight, they will die. Also, the mercenary Numidian cavalry is obstructing more than killing these armored horse archers, so that the general can kill the armored horse archers. Now the Cimmerian general is about to rout, and this Carthaginian army is pushing through to the Scythian Hoplites, which is something allowed and is logical. And these slingers, which are now unprotected, will die. And this was what the superior cavalry contingent made possible for Ichkeria. That is to have a better ending game, and also the superior melee regiment will do much better. And Carthage, as you can see, has won this battle by far, and is now about some time that it will end. So let's fast forward. And he even didn't need to use his Libyan hoplites to finish the melee fight at the center. So let's go to the results. As you can see, the Libyan infantry did well, with the exception of this Libyan infantry, but these three did very good, and these two units had a lot of men. Also, what I liked best was the use of the mercenary Numidian cavalry, which, as you can see, has a very good amount of kills, and they stayed until the end of the battle. Also, his cavalry has more kills than in the first battle. This Carthaginian army has 124, and his general made a good job of killing the armored horse archer general of the Cimmerian infantry. Also, as you can see, it changed a lot the result of killings of these Italian swordmen and mercenary Scutari, which in last battle were not good, and now they have an excellent number. Indeed, this mercenary Scutari cavalry is the MVP of the infantry of the Carthaginian army. And well, the Libyan hoplites were just to screen, and they did their job, and they died, and they killed few. Also, the Cimmerian infant army, the armored horse archers had a really bad performance, and I don't know, but I think that this was the lack of engaging the flanks of the Carthaginian army by these armored horse archers, because these horse archers are made to harass the flanks. So what Ichkeria did with the mercenary Numidian cavalry, I think it was the paradigm for the armored horse archer, that is to move to the flanks and harass the enemy from the back or the sides. The Scythian hoplites did average, this unit not so well, and as you can see, this Cimmerian noble infantry got destroyed at the beginning of the battle. I think it was by 2 units or more units of infantry, and this unit was the unit that was left until the end of the battle at the melee fight at the center. And the picket peltas, this unit did great, and this unit did average. And the steppe lancers, well, they didn't do anything in reality, and also the citizen cavalry, which was killed by the Carthaginian cavalry. So Ichkeria got more cavalry, better infantry, and he pressed the flanks of the Cimmerian infantry army, and the Cimmeria army was in defensive mode, which is not a good idea for a skirmisher army. So these were the first 2 battles, and as you can see, Wolf of Ichkeria, or Caucasian Carthage, as he has the name now, made an adjustment from what he saw at the first battle, and he got a win at this second battle. And in the next battle, we will see how Bobby will try to correct his build, but that's for the next video. So thank you for watching.